Hello everyone, my name is Ziad. I'm a product manager here at iBwave. And today with me is Patricia.
Hello everyone, my name is Patricia. I'm software developer in the Unity team.
So Patricia, in Release 10.1, you were one of the leads on the feature that we're going to be reviewing today, which is the import-export in Unity for managing a large amount of projects.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Correct.
So a little bit of background on this feature. Some of our power users asked us for a way to better manage a large amount of projects at the same time, mainly for two use cases. The first one being migrating to Unity from other tools, a large amount of projects, hundreds or thousands of projects, and these customers didn't want to import the project one by one. They wanted a way to import them in bulk. And the second use case we're going to be looking at today is updating project properties in bulk as well. So let's say you have 1,000 projects again, and you want to update fields for these projects. You don't want to do it one project at a time. You want to do it in bulk. So that's the second use case we're going to be looking at. So let's dive into it.
Sure.
Patricia, let's start with the first use case, which is migrating from a third-party tool, migrating a bunch of projects into Unity.
Okay.
So how can we do that?
Okay. First of all, after login, so you have to access. First of all, let's explain. We have some folders here that I created. So we are going to create the projects on this folder.
Yeah. So
okay?
Just to mention here, this Unity site, if you go back to the main folder, already has a bunch of projects in it. Obviously, if you're migrating to a new Unity, you're going to have no projects. You're going to have something similar to what you're seeing now in this folder, the NWT folder, where it's empty. So we're kind of mimicking an empty Unity. So let's say we want to import projects into this folder.
Okay. So in this case, let's access the administration page. And in the left menu, you can see the export and imports button. So in this case, let's start by this scenario, importing my own projects. So I click here. So the first thing that you have to know is, if you're going to import your own projects, you have to adapt your data to the templates, because we need some information, and should be in this very specific formats to import to the units. And how should I proceed about that?
So obviously, people exporting, admins exporting from other tools, they're going to export to Excel. Most tools support exporting to Excel, and they want to take that information and import it into iBwave. Obviously, we have our own format, and this is where the template comes in, right? To kind of format the information according to iBwave's template data structure.
Exactly. So in this case, the first thing that we have to do is download a template to adapt the data. So let's show what is the how it looks like. So that's my template, the blank template. As you may see, we have some properties here that should be filled. Some of them are required, which means the moment that you are adapting your data, at least the required fields should be filled, okay? In order to make the import work.
Yeah, so here, wherever we see an asterisk, it's a mandatory field that needs to be filled.
Exactly.
Or else probably you're going to have an error. We're probably going to see that do a kind of an error scenario later on. Just a quick information on these fields. The admin can instantiate any fields, project fields here, and for the projects, and you're going to see them in the template. As well, the admin can create some custom fields and specific to their needs. And when you want to import in the template, you're going to see your custom fields as well as part of these columns.
Exactly. So let's get an example here created for this purpose. So let's see our. Let me open my file here. Okay. So let's say I have some projects here, and I'm starting to fill all my information here.
So this is the same file that we saw earlier, but we kind of, to accelerate, we kind of pre-filled it.
Pre-filled the data, exactly. So let's get this example here.
But let's keep it actually empty, this one.
Okay.
Let's do an error scenario.
That's a very good user case. So let's say these are my projects that I need to import to JUnit. So what should happen in this case? Consider that this is a required field. When I import this file here, first of all, let's find the file, which is this one that I just filled with some information. So as you can see, the system found two not matching any projects, which means I don't have these projects already in the units. Okay?
So obviously this fits our use case. Whenever you're importing to a blank Unity, all the projects that you're going to be importing are not going to be found in the Unity database. So you're going to see a count here of your projects that you're importing. In this case, we're just importing 2, for example. That's why we're seeing 2 here.
Exactly. So let's say now let's submit our projects. So what happened in this scenario here? Because I missed one required fields, then I should have a report about the issue that I found on my file. So we have some validations here in different levels, but this specific case, as you may see here in this validation summary, I see all required fields names must be populated, which means I have an issue on my file. And then you may ask, how can I know where's my error?
So now we know exactly where the error is, but let's say you have thousands of projects and tens of thousands of columns and cells. How do you know where to go look and then fix your error?
Okay, as you may see here, in the end of this validation summary, you find this link. Download the complete list of file validation issues, which you have access to a full report of every single error your file contains. So as you may see here, folder name string, the type string, is required in the cell F4. So you know exactly in which part of your Excel file you have an error. So knowing that,
so now we can go and
you can
fix
go
the
in your
error.
File. Exactly, you can go your
and
file.
Try to import again.
You can go your file. Okay, I know this field is required. So, okay, I'll just fix the issue.
So now, before we go further, we're importing 2 sites with 2 projects in them.
Okay.
Site 1 and site 2. And when we finish the import, we should see them appear in the directory in the folder.
Exactly. So in this case, let's re-upload again the file that I just fixed, and then let's submit again. Now you see everything is validated because you have all the summary here. Project imported successfully. At this moment, you may able to see if you go there in the site list, and I put my projects in this folder, then
So now we see them site 1 and site 2.
Exactly. Yeah. Everything that I just created is in here. Okay.
So this basically covers the first use case we talked about for migrating from other tools into Unity, kind of a greenfield application, or you're starting from scratch with Unity.
Yes.
So now let's look at the second use case. The second use case was updating existing projects that you have under Unity, that you're managing under Unity, and you want to update project fields in bulk. So how would we do that?
Okay. So for this case, you can go back there in the administration, same link, export, import, and now you're choosing export projects. So for this case, what do you see here in this landing page? You can have access to all the projects that you have in the level of this folder that you have selected here.
So let's go to NWT, right?
Yes, we chose this folder here, NWT, okay? If I select this, then you are going to see the filter projects that I have under the level of NWT folder, okay? So if I even want to filter a bit more on this folder, then I can just use this search on the top here. Let's say if I need to find something like with this name here, site 1, and I can even filter like that.
Mm-hmm.
So if I even want to add more filters here, I can just use currently showing dates, which I can filter by created date and modified date.
So you can specify a range of for a date, whether that created date or modified date.
Exactly. So in this case, let's say I want to export both projects because I want to modify both projects, okay? So let's say I'm going to select all case here, okay? I selected both, and I can even see my selected projects. If I click here, everything that I selected is here. It's displayed here.
This is useful when you have many projects. This is obviously here. It's not showing the usefulness of this, but when you have hundreds and thousands, you're gonna see which ones you selected.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So in this case, we are going to export these 2 projects here. So how do I proceed about that? I just click here, export projects. And when I do that, you will download the Excel file containing both projects that I selected. So let's open it. Okay, So let's say I'm going to change.
Just
Okay.
before going a little bit further, so here we see the file is a little bit different than the file for import. And obviously this is normal because there are some internal columns that have been created in our database. So like the project GUID and site ID,
project with.
yeah,
Exactly.
and the revision number.
Exactly.
So let's change the name.
Okay, so let's say I'm going to change the project name. So in this case, let's call it my project for site 2 new. I'll call it like this. And the second one, I will do the same. So if I do my change and then I save, so I'll close it here, site list 1, okay. Then once that I did all the changes that I need on my exported projects, I go back there in the import site, in the import page, I will search for my file here, which is this one that I exported. And then if you see, I have a different result here. Because now I found on the unit 2 matching existing project, which means I already have these projects on my pages.
This is a way. This is another way to see that actually you're updating, and then you're not importing a new project or creating a new project in Unity, but actually you're updating an existing project in Unity.
Exactly.
This is kind of what it tells us here.
So in this case, I found 2 matching projects, so every change that I have in this Excel file will be updated in the unit system. So if I submit, it will always do. It always does all validation again.
Same validation as
every
before.
Every time, exactly.
Yeah.
Same validation as did before. So in this case, I have nothing wrong. So project were imported successfully. Now let's see the changes that I did for the specific information there on those pages. So if you go back there, let's see. You see the project name
being updated.
It was updated, exactly.
So obviously, this you can do for any field in your
yeah.
project, not just the project name.
Yes.
And you might have 1,000 entry in those columns, and you can
Yes.
do some Excel macros to update things automatically and then import them. And it's a very powerful tool for our network administrators using our tool, and that has been asked from us by some customers that we work close with actually to make sure that the interface, the user experience is good. So that's import-export feature. Hope you enjoyed watching this video, and tune in next time for other videos from iBwave. Thank you.
Thank you.